Essay 299 Joint Audit of Financial Statements, Audit Planning, Risk Assessment, and Allocation of Work. Joint Audit Strategy, Joint Audit Plan. Obtain common engagement letter since it is a joint audit. Engagement partner and other key member of each joint auditor shall be involved in planning the audit. Joint audit strategy need to be formulated. Joint audit plan need to be formulated. Consider results of similar engagements performed earlier, results of preliminary engagement activities. Division of audit areas by mutual understanding like business units, specified areas, assets, liabilities, income, expenses. Common audit areas, due to their importance, nature, would not be divided and covered by all joint auditors. Common audit areas are covered by all joint auditors. Nature, timing, extent of resources, consider and communicate factors significant in directing engagement team, materiality level, and audit risk. Reporting, objectives, manner, or timings need to be considered. Work allocation document shall be signed by all joint auditors and shall be communicated to those charged with the governance. Documentation helps in avoiding dispute or confusion among the joint auditors regarding the scope of work. Communication helps in avoiding dispute or confusion between the entity and the joint auditor. Area level discussion, documentation, and communication should be done. Assess risk of material misstatements, document it, communicate it to other joint auditor. Discuss and document nature, timing, extent of audit procedures for common and specific allotted areas and communicate to those charged with the governance. Obtain written representation letter from management or those charged with the governance. Next, responsibility. Joint auditors have specific or separate responsibility for work divided, assessment of risk relating to areas of work allocated, evaluation of internal controls relating to the work of areas of work allotted, nature, timing, extent of audit procedures for work allocated to said joint auditors. Joint auditors have joint responsibility for work not divided or common areas. Decisions taken by all joint auditors together with respect to nature, timing, extent of audit procedures for common areas, matters brought to the notice of joint auditors by other joint auditor and on which there is an agreement among the joint auditors. Examining whether the financial statements of the entity comply with relevant statutes. Statute example is Schedule 3, presentation and disclosure requirement of financial statements, ensuring that audit report complies with the statutes, the applicable standards on auditing, and the relevant pronouncements issued by ICAI. Next, coordination. During course of audit, joint auditors shall communicate to the other joint auditors in writing prior to completion of the audit. Matters which are relevant to areas of other joint auditors, deserve attention of other joint auditors, require disclosure or discussion, or require application of judgment by other joint auditors will be discussed by all the joint auditors. Reliance on other joint auditor. Can one or joint auditor rely work on other joint auditor? Answer is yes. Joint auditor is entitled to assume that other joint auditors have performed their part of the audit work. Work has been performed as per relevant essays. The other joint auditors have brought to the notice of said joint auditor any departure from the applicable financial reporting framework or significant observations relevant to their responsibility. Any review or test by other joint auditor to ascertain the same is not necessary. Next, when financial statements of the division or branch are audited by one of the joint auditor, the other joint auditor is entitled to proceed on the basis of financial statements audited by other joint auditor, comply with legal and regulatory requirements, present true and fair view of the affairs and operations of the division or branch concerned. Next, audit conclusion and reporting. Audit conclusion and reporting. Before finalizing their audit report, joint auditor shall discuss and communicate with other joint auditors their respective conclusions. Audit report. If one joint auditor agreed with regard to opinion of other joint auditors, then common audit report will be given. If there is a disagreement with regard to the opinion, separate audit report need to be given, and other matter paragraph that matter need to be mentioned in other matter paragraph. In case of disagreement with regard to the opinion, joint auditor is not bound by views of the majority regarding opinion or matter to be covered in audit report. In case of disagreement in opinion or any matter to be covered by the audit report, they shall express their opinion in a separate audit report. Audit report by other auditors combined shall make a reference to the separate audit report. Separate audit report shall also make reference to the audit report by other joint auditors combined. Such reference shall be made under the heading Other Matter paragraphs as per revised SA 706.